zachitika kuti zachitika nthawi zanji kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko manu momwe zisamakuphonyeni.
Monga tonse tikudziwa kunena kuti malemu Saulos Chilima anamwalira akupita ku maliro a Raphael Kasambara. Ndiye Commission of Inquiry inaitanisa a Klaus Kasambara omwe amawafunsa mafunso osiyana-siyana kumeneko. Komatu chomwe chatichititsa chidwi nchonena kuti a Klaus Kasambara alankhulapo kunena kuti pamene a Raphael Kasambara amamwalira panali abale komanso adani amene ndithu anali nawo nthawi imeneyo. Takhani pomwepo pamene inu muti mumve zomwe iwo ayankhula a Klaus Kasambara. Takhani pomwepo.
And is subject to confirmation with the council Waponakita that what was paid was in Kasambara's name. So, but I'm saying that's subject to confirmation from Mr. Waponakita, because he has the receipt. I can't remember all the details now. Apart from the 9 members, were there any other soldiers or personnel on board? I don't know. If we go at that Bakiri Mluzi now airport, Chileka airport, where people are boarding and you are outside the fence, the wire fence, it's a distance. I wouldn't know what was inside. I didn't board the plane. So I'm sorry, I wouldn't be specific on that one. Even I wouldn't tell you how many pilots were there, whether there were 2 or 1. I wouldn't, because I didn't go that close. Any reason why not more than 9 people? We were told that that's an acceptable number of people that should board the plane. And to me, as a layperson, I thought that was the capacity of the plane itself. But that's what I was given. And the names when I was giving out is that I'd have preferred to put more people if I were given the chance. But if it was restricted, as a matter of fact, that reminds me, there was one lady who wanted to be the 10th person. They made sure that she came out of the plane. I wouldn't mention the name, but they said, your name is not here. So she was a very close family member, but she came out. We picked her from the airport and we tried to arrange for her some means of transport. But she was the 10th person, but she was sent back. So to me, as a lay person, I think I had to abide by what strictly we were told to do. So the other question was, what necessitated RK to be in Lilongwe? Ralph used to have a law firm here in Lilongwe, but he closed it and he was just maintaining the one in Blantyre after his arrest and the other things that he was going through. We thought it was just too much for him, to have other people running his firm here when he's not around. So he used to come to Lilongwe to handle most of his cases, where he was not supposed to appear before the court, where there were cases of arbitration, for instance, he would handle them himself. But most of the times, he would do part of the paperwork and he would give other lawyers to finish off his work. And most of the times when he used to come here in Lilongwe, there was only one place that he was comfortable with, and that's Demlon at Lodge, where he died. And his room was always close to the reception for safety reasons. And if we want to put it on record, even when he was here at that particular time, he was booking 2 places to confuse those who would be maybe his enemies. So what he would book at the Demlock, he would book at BICC. At the same time, even when he died, if you do thorough investigations, that's the information that you're supposed to get. He was booking in 2 places. But when maybe your day has come, it really indeed comes, whether booking 2 places or 3 places. So he had his clients. And even when the day he died, he was handling the case of Mirza from Mzuzu. And his file was there at Demlo. I'm the one who took it, and I gave it later on to the ones who were, other friends who were supposed to finish it. So that's what necessitated him to come here. It's just the issue of his clients. Most of them were in Lilongwe and Mzuzu. You asked me about weather in Chikangawa when we drove up north. Yeah, it was terrible. I was passing through Chikangawa around 3 a.m. with my uncle. I couldn't drive at one point, not more than 10 kilometers per hour. There was thick fog. That's the honest part of it. What time we arrived in Mzuzu, it was around 5 a.m. or past 5 on that day. That's how we traveled. Now the question about Madame, about the technical concerns about the plane, honestly, I think that's outside my jurisdiction. And in fact, I am not an expert, whether I would ask you for that or whether I was on the plane, because I was not also on the plane. I wouldn't ask whether there were any concerns about the plane. But the flight itself, whether it was comfortable or not, that's what I've already expressed. Thank you.
Supplementary, Chair.
We've had an extensive one. We can take a few, so we wrap up.
Chair, my question was not answered.
The question, you didn't answer, what was the question about?
My question was, I wanted to confirm the total number of people, including pilots.
Chair, please protect me. I had already answered that question.
My apologies then, I did.
Definitely missed that, yeah. There's the Mayani, Kadabi North, and then we wind up with the Planta Malavada.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Kasambara, we are very sorry for the loss of your brother, and wish the family receive condolences from the people of Detsa Mayani as we still deliberate the issues surrounding. I just wanted, Mr. Kasambara, if you can confirm about the burial program. When was it produced? And on that burial program, would you please inform this committee about the indicated time for the start of the burial ceremony? In my understanding, it could mean maybe the mass, if because you are talking about the priest, if you could specify to say whether the burial ceremony or the mass was according to the program which we had said it was supposed to be starting at such an hour. And I would like you to confirm if that program was drawn on that particular day or a day before, or when was it drawn, so that everybody gets aligned with what the family had said as the date. Thank you very much, Chair.
Kadabi North.
Thank you, Chair. My question is a quick question and short one. Mr. Kasambara, just wanted you to maybe to rate the committee that you said after discussion with the official government, and then you decided the service to start. My interest is who sat on the seat of the Red Vice President? Thank you.
Planter Ndirande, Malabada.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I have two supplementary questions. I would like to know, when you mentioned that your brother and your wife had experienced the terrible turbulences, did they mention to you that they were still willing to travel on the same aeroplane back to Blantyre? Second question, I hope it's not very intrusive. Did your brother, Honorable Kasambara, mention to you who was or who he had feared that was after him, probably to harm him? Thank you.
You may take that last round of questions.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the burial program. When was it produced? Everything that we did ourselves when we went to Blantyre, from here, when we arrived in Blantyre, as a family, we sat down and we drew up the program. That how to travel from Blantyre to Kadabe. Some people were already there, so it wasn't only to do with about traveling, but this was a comprehensive program, including even issues of food, other arrangements like tents and so forth. So it was a comprehensive program. We did it the day before. And fortunately, the two brothers of mine, they're in Mzuzu, so we could phone them to arrange with the priest that it should be at the venue around 9:30, so that by 10 o'clock, when the vice president comes, we start the service. Now, that's how it went. And it was easy for us to notice that the way we planned it, that's why we're saying the program was not drawn by no any other people but us. But the question that whether I decided for the program to start, I didn't decide. But rather, I was facilitating that the program should start because that's what we had agreed. Because if you say I decided it's like a one-person show, no. It was already agreed. So I was simply facilitating the process. And I had to consult the rightful authorities to make sure that the program is on track. If you ask me, were we late? Yes, of course we were late. That's why I tried to come in and to consult immediately so that we would start the program. If you ask me the question, who sat on the VP chair? Nobody sat on the VP chair. I said that when that was communicated, there was a rearrangement in terms of the front row. So the chair, which was supposed to be sat by the VP, was removed, and we tried to squeeze that space. That's why I couldn't remember exactly what was the arrangement in terms of the front row. If you ask me, were they still willing to travel again on the same plane? This is my brother who lives in Mzuzu. He wouldn't be traveling to Blantyre to do what? He was supposed to be there. My wife was supposed to come back with me. So they wouldn't have made any reservations or they wouldn't have made any communication regarding where they were willing. But what about the rest? The answer is yes. They expressed that they will come back with the plane. So we have to differentiate who was coming back or not. And we weren't very sure whether the arrangement would have been that we should stop here in Lilongwe while we were delivering people in Blantyre. It wasn't very clear. We were supposed to clear that at the end, because what we knew is that it's supposed to take us back. But not everybody who was in Blantyre was supposed to go back to Blantyre. Some were supposed to remain in the north and some in the center. And the other question, I think, is far-fetched, if I were to answer that one. Whom did he fear most? Oh, wow. Raph had a lot of friends and he had a lot of enemies. That's what we concluded in the family. That's why we don't want to institute any inquiry about it. And this is my first time to come open to talk about the death of my brother. And I wouldn't like to talk about it. I've got my own reservations. So I cannot point out that one, the one feared most of the one. No. Let's not create enmities here. The thing is already gone, may his soul rest in peace. I think we'll take it, we've accepted it, and that's how it is. Thank you very much, Chair.
Vice Chairman, Zomba City South.
City South.
Yeah.
No, Chair, just one final one. I did offer my condolences on behalf of the people of Zomba City South to Mr. Kasambara. You finished by saying he had a lot of friends and enemies. I wanted to know, Mr. Kasambara, if late Raphael Kasambara was friends with the late SKC, and if they were friends, how close were they? Thank you.
You may respond.
Yes, Chair, I will respond to that. Yes, they were very close. Very close. I think from their childhood, even from the university, they were very close. And at every birthday of Raph, I still remember Saulos would bring a gift. And a big gift for that matter, like when he was at the Airtel Malawi, he would bring the first brand, maybe of handset of phone. He would say, my brother, here it is. Or if he is busy, he would make sure always on his birthday, or if we're celebrating birthday, he would make his way, come over, and if he comes and says, I'm very busy, but I just wanted to wish my brother happy birthday, we'll chat later. That's the type of relationship that I knew that anytime Raph would go to Saulos' place, and Saulos would go to Raph's place. And yes, they were very close. That's why it wasn't a surprise to us when after traveling a long trip, still he sacrificed that I would go and be there during the burial. So to me, yes, that was the spirit of brotherhood. Thank you, Chair.
So, Chairperson, you lost the two brothers in a way, in a space of 3 days.
That's very true.
I will continue.
Thank you very much for according us this opportunity to interact with you. And we appreciate your patience in responding to several questions that were put forward. We also appreciate your willingness to participate in this inquiry. I noted you were very straightforward with your responses, straight and direct, so I've also learned, a few things from you as well on how we should proceed going forward. You've given us a detailed account of how events unfolded, and that will help us shape, our investigations. So if you have any further comments to make, we'll allow you to make a final remarks, and then you can take leave.
Chair, my last words is just to thank you and the audience for according me the opportunity to appear before you, and I hope I've been helpful in one way or the other. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Zachitika kuti zachitika nthawi zanji kodi nanga amene wapanga ndani musakhale nawo gulu lovutika ndi mphekesera ayi tapangani subscribe ku Malawi Daily Headlines lero kuti zochitika mdziko manu momwe zisamakuphonyeni.